Good morning. It's 6 a.m. We're both working today. We're going to show you how we set up the van, how we get internet, and what a typical workday looks like for us. But first, coffee, feed the kids, and take Charlie for a walk. Let's go. Good morning, Anna. Good morning. This is where we slept yesterday, just in front of a park. We're just going to move the van into the car park there. We need a clear view of the sky for our internet.
Alright, this is our Starlink satellite dish. Normally keep it inside the van for security. How much battery do we have? 94%. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that.
Kevin always gets a little bit nervous by the battery level. Every time it goes under 90%, he gets pretty stressed out. We have this telescopic ladder.
We have this little compartment here where we store our Starlink cable. Pretty juicy stuff. This is like a protective dummy. We'll put this in. And mount it on. And that's it.
Got to switch the inverter on first, and then we can turn on the router.
That's our Starlink router.
Okay, it's time to feed the kids. Oh, this is a pet drawer. There you go, sweetheart. Stay. 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 Break.
Time to take Charlie out for his morning walk, or as we call it, the morning ritual. Alright, be right back.
Bye. Where are you taking him? Bye.
Just to the park, let him out. That's our Starlink dish. It's currently speaking with all the satellites in the sky, trying to get the connection. It starts moving around and doing all this whirly stuff.
Okay, while they're gone, we're gonna make some coffee. Where are the coffee beans at? They were hiding behind the kimchi. So we bought this fancy stovetop coffee machine. Oh shit, what am I doing? Fuck. Okay. It was like $300 something. It's got this attachment where you can froth milk as well. So it's like a mocha pot. Imagine like a stovetop coffee machine, but it also has like a milk steaming wand on it. I've always had an issue with lactose, and in the past couple of years, as I've gotten older, it's kind of gotten worse. I'm doing this thing where I've decided to try not having any dairy. I find that even the milk alternatives like soy milk, almond milk, they still give me a very upset stomach, so I'm not doing those milks either. Still got that really expensive stovetop coffee machine, but we've reverted back to the trusty old mocha pot. So we've ground our beans. Alright, so now we screw the top on. Turn the inverter on. There it is. We're boiling some water because we're going to have it hot. It's pretty cold this morning. This is our kettle. I was a bit skeptical about this when we first bought it because we just bought it off Amazon. We just wanted to buy a kettle that was low voltage. But yeah, it actually works really well. It's a little bit too much. It's okay. I'm making oats anyway. He's back. Oh, he's wet.
Yep, and he's shat 3 times.
Thanks for sharing that.
We're gonna start work soon. This is our normal setup. We've got our 2 laptops here.
So I work as a consultant in the construction infrastructure industry. I had been with my company for a number of years when Kevin and I wanted to do van life. And so I already had a good relationship with my boss anyway. So Charlie agrees. You agree, Charlie? I had a good relationship with my boss, and so when I approached him and I told him I wanted to do van life, would it be possible for me to work remotely? He said yes. So I'm really lucky. I know that's not possible for everyone, and at the moment I'm working 3 days a week.
And I work casually for a call center company. Same days as Janice, Tuesday to Thursday, so it worked out perfect for us. We're gonna start work, and in a few hours when we get hungry, we'll make some lunch. We'll show you what we're gonna eat, so we'll catch you then. It's our break time, or lunch time. So we're gonna take Charlie out for a quick walk, and then we'll get started on lunch a little bit later. Charlie, you ready for your walk? We're also taking Anna out. Possibly a drawback to this setup with the internet is that if you gotta relocate, like we're gonna relocate to a caravan park, you gotta like take everything down and set it back up again. That's probably the only drawback, but other than that, it works fine.
I'm hungry, are you?
Yeah, I'm hungry. Let's go.
We have arrived at our home for the next couple of nights.
Hi.
Text you enter in the number and then hash when you're going in and coming out.
Thank you.
Ready?
Oh, it's raining. Every time we come to a new caravan park, Janice and I have this thing where we start rating other people's caravans and setups.
We actually got to the caravan park just in time because our pee tank is like 95% full and Kevin's just about to empty it. What happened? What happened?
Just slid out.
I thought he was going to say it overflowed. Don't look. It's about 4 days worth of pee. You know, one thing I'm really grateful for to Kevin is that I think in the past 8 months of traveling, I've only emptied the pee tank once. And Kevin does it every time. There he is, giving it a bit of a clean with water. Okay, it's lunchtime and I'm cooking pasta. I've got some sun-dried tomato, olives, tuna, bit of lemon and rocket. Kevin's in a meeting and I've got a meeting from 1 to 3. So, and it's 12 o'clock and I'm getting a phone call. Hold on. Okay, that was a bit frazzling. I have a meeting in 30 minutes. We're gonna quickly try to make this lunch. So I've cooked my pasta noodles. It's okay. I'm gonna chuck in 3 cans of tuna. Rocket. Bunch of olives. Sun-dried tomatoes. Lemon. Salt. Pepper. This.
Seriously, you make the best pasta in the world.
Gonna quickly eat this and then jump in a meeting. See you later. Okay, so we just finished work and now we're gonna give you a bit of a tour on our setup and how Starlink and everything is connected in the van for us to work.
Okay, so got to show you how we wired our van to get internet. We'll start with the modem. Obviously runs to the power, the 240 volt. And then we have another wire, which is this one, that runs along the bed underneath the van and then to the side where the wire pops out in that compartment that goes up to the Starlink dish. This is a cable that goes to the roof of our van to the Starlink dish. And this is the brains of our power system. So here we have our 3000 watt inverter And then we have our battery charger, and obviously the fuse box. Look, I'm not like a Sparky or anything.
In layman's terms, what that means is the sun shines on the solar panel, it goes through the wires, goes to the battery, and then it comes to the power point. That's all you need to know.
If we go outside to the back or the garage of our van, that's where our physical battery housing is. So we'll pop on over and show you what it looks like. So we're at the garage of our house. This is where the battery housing is. That's where it lives. But to show you real quickly, don't mind this hole. This is our little gauge that shows how much battery we have, how much amps it's drawing, you know, just to sort of monitor what our battery health is. This is a switch for our water tank that shows how much water we have. We have just over half a tank. We've got a 90-litre tank plus a 10-litre hot water tank. And in here, the secret door to Wonkaland is our battery housing. So we've got two 260 amp hour batteries. I think the brand's Giant. It's been working well so far. We've been traveling for about 8-9 months, no problems, no dramas at all. And this is where the heart of the battery is, where the inverter and all that lives. So yeah, it's a nice little nook here. We've also got on the side of the van, this is our mains line. This cord is a 15 amp cord. When we come to a caravan park, we can plug her in and just, you know, feed off that instead of using our inverter. It's pretty juicy stuff.
I guess one thing I was always curious about whenever I watch these videos about van lifers doing work in their van on Starlink is I wondered, how is the connectivity actually? Like, are there any problems? Does it lag? You know, how fast is the internet? Does it actually do what it needs to do for me to be able to work? So this is just our experience. So for my work, the biggest point of concern was probably connectivity during Teams meetings and things like that. And for that, it's fine. Like, no problems at all. Probably better than NBN, right?
Mm-hmm. I have a bit of a different experience. My work involves like using the VoIP call system, which is pretty much phone calls through the internet. Well, first of all, the connectivity is good, but if you're like under a tree or in areas where there's tall buildings, the Starlink's not going to have a clear view of the sky, so the connectivity is going to go in and out. That's the first thing you got to be wary about.
Yeah, so for Starlink to work well, you don't want any physical obstructions in the line of sight from the satellite dish to the sky. That's the first thing. So I guess when you're in a city, it doesn't work well because there's so many houses, buildings.
I think when you're in cities, because there's so many people, there's a lot of traffic, like phone reception, mobile phone or data, all that. I don't know. I'm not a tech whiz or anything. It works really well in rural areas, but I do find that because it's connecting to different satellites in space, they continuously like changing connections with different satellites as they go past. I feel like I call it pulsating. I feel like the internet's good and then it stops for a few seconds. So because of that reason, when I work using the VoIP call systems, sometimes it drops out or it really just
Pulsates.
Yeah, it really pulsates.
Okay, don't quote us on any of this stuff. This is just our experience on what we think is happening.
So what I found out, which I never knew, is about latency. Now, I grew up playing Counter-Strike, like computer games and stuff, and I always saw latency. I never knew what that is. But basically, latency is the connection between our satellite dish to the satellite up in space. And the lower the number, the latency, the better the connection. And ideally for a VoIP call system, 20 to 30 latency is good, but Starlink goes above 100. NBN or any optic fiber internet connections are generally apparently 20 to 30, which is like more stable. That's why there's that VR place called Zero Latency, and it clicked in our minds. That's awesome, right? Anyways.
Yeah, really fun place.
Yeah, so Starlink is still fairly new and young. They're still developing and making improvements. But overall, Starlink been really good for us traveling around Australia. If I had to do it again, I'd use it again.
Okay, so that's it. If you have any other questions about working in the van or working remote, please let us know. Otherwise, we're posting a video every Sunday, so we'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Bye!